Hello lads! Do you need to use more than one GitHub account from the same machine? If the answer is yes, then you are in the right place. I'm gonna show you now how to set up your environments, what to do and what not to do in this situation, because it's been over a year now that I had to use two accounts myself. The original one for my personal projects and a new one for work. And during this year I've tried a couple of things, made some mistakes and landed on what I think is the best solution for this situation, which I'm going to share with you now. So let's imagine we have two GitHub accounts. Let's go straight to settings and set up our SSH keys. And by the way, if you are using a Git client like the GitHub one or something similar, which manages your account and stuff for you, then you don't need to do these steps. I'm pretty sure there is a UI user-friendly way to do that. So this is for people who like to do the conventional way. And the conventional way now is with SSH keys. There used to be a time when you could log in to GitHub with username and password from the terminal. But those days are long gone and we need to have SSH keys. This is the default way now. So let's make a couple. And then make a second pair. Again, make a folder corresponding the usernames and put each one's keys into their directories. Okay, now we're ready. So what we have now is two directories, each has the keys. Now we need to put the public keys on GitHub. And I'm not gonna cover this because I'm gonna delete them once the recording is done. So we have two accounts, we have two public keys. Now we need to set up to access them. The way we're gonna do that is through SSH config file, because that's the best way. So first we define a host. So what we can do is to have one default account, and then for the so-called work account it's gonna look a little different. So this is my default account. I need to define the host name, and user is always git. Here is the key part. I can manually point at the file it needs to look at. I can also optionally set the user host file so as it would be separate, but this one is optional. And I need to add this extra parameter. It used to work without that, but now it's kind of mandatory, or it depends on the system. Once we have it, we can already try it. We can try by SSHing to GitHub. So it's first saving the known host file. I need to type yes. I have one error here. I'll take care of that. But as you can see, the SSH attempt was successful. So the reason why this did not work is because I have git here. I need to have an existing directory, which is this one here. So if I try again, I say yes again. This time no error. Known host file has been populated and the key is good to use. Let's demo a successful use and then we'll go to the second one. Let's say I wanna copy this one. So as always, I can just go there and copy this as usual and git clone it. And it successfully clones. Now is the interesting part. How do we use the second one? If I just copy this and only change these fields, this is not good because it's gonna try only the first one. It's not gonna get to the second one because it's the same host and same user. So what we need to do is to assign a custom name to this host. All we need to do is to change this one. Let's say we call it alt, because this one's name is tinkermacar-alt. Now, how we can test the SSH connection is to replace the long username and password one with a shorthand, which is alt. Again, we're storing a key, and then, as you can see now, we're greeted as tinkermacar-alt. So this is the alias for our connection. Now what do we do with that? We use it as the username password part. So we're replacing this with alt so as we can download stuff as the alt user. Particularly if I have a repository. And since it's private, it means only people who have access to this repository are allowed to download it. If I go ahead and try this and I change nothing, it will fail. Why will it fail? Because here I'm trying to log in as github.com SSH user, which is associated with my primary account with this username and host name, which does not have access to this repository. Only tinkermacar-alt has access to this repository. What it means is that I need to copy this, but before I can even use it, I need to make a change. So this did not work with the error above. I need to replace this part. Every time I need to act as this user, I need to replace it with the alias, which is alt. And that's it. Now it's successful because alt has access to it. We're done with part 1, but this is not final yet. We need to take some extra steps to streamline our workflow. What we need to do is to define our users and user emails in each repository so as it's possible to push. Like in this case. So imagine I have the project, I have a commit to do. Something doesn't matter. I'm trying to commit test commit 1, and I am getting an error because it requires me to set my username and email. Luckily, I have a little script which I can use to set it real quick and see what we have here. We have a shell script, and what it does, it reads from the environment file, which is right next to it here. So you need to set 3 arrays, one with aliases, one with names, and one with emails. And then the script is gonna read them, sort them, confirm that nothing is missing, and then we don't define the alias of the account we want, then it's gonna prompt us for it. If we do have it, then it's gonna pick it and set these commands. Now please pay attention that the command here differs from the command git suggests us. I'm missing this global part, and that's the key here. If you have multiple accounts, using a global is a big mistake, a very, very big mistake, because you are not taking into account the human error. You are definitely gonna forget to change your user in a particular repository, and then you are gonna push commits to the history with wrong user name and email, and then you'll have to clean up. Well, we're gonna talk about cleanup as well, but first let's see what's the right way to do this. The right way to do this is to set it with the two commands. I'll show how you do it manually and then with the script. So basically you need to pass the name. I'll pass my username, and then you need to pass an email. This email should not be your personal email, because in the commit history anyone can go to the particular commit and then add patch here, and whatever email you have used will be reflected here. So we need to keep this anonymous email there rather than your personal one. We get it from here and set it as our email. And if we try to commit again, it goes through. We have 2 commits now, and it went as expected, and it's still anonymous. So just to prove my point, I'm gonna open this in the other terminal. Oh, this one is private. Like, I'm gonna make this public now. Here, change visibility, and then we try again. The entire world has access to whatever email you have put here. Now let's look at the script. All we need to do is to provide correct environment files. So I'll do it over for demo purposes. So you need to create an env file. This is the example. Here, instead of all this stuff, you just put let's say personal and out. The personal's email is gonna be something from here. This is the personal, the one without out. Oh, I have a typo here. So this is going to be the personal, and the second one is going to be this one, the out one. And arrays in bash scripts look like this. They are just space separated strings. So this is an array, and this is another array. And for the names, I'll just put car for the primary one and username for the second one. Now all we need to do is to follow the readme. We need to make it executable and then add an alias. To make it executable, we need to do chmod plus x to the file, which is this sh script. Now it's executable. Now we need to add it to our aliases in bash rc. So we need to say alias. Whatever you put here is gonna run every time you start the terminal. This is true for Linux and Mac, with a small difference. In Mac they have Z shell instead of bash, so there is some Z shell RC file instead. So the name of the command is going to be git-id, and the command is going to be the path to it. and we're basically done. Let's start a new terminal, go to last for example, git id personal. We have an error in our env file. Interestingly enough, I updated the example file instead of updating the real file. So let's put whatever we wrote here, and this is again to prove that human errors should not be underestimated. Now it works. How do we see? What's my name? What's my name for this repository? It's Makar, as it should be. What's my email in this repository? It is the Tinker Makar without out. So if this is a mistake, I can do this and change it. Now, once I run the script, my email has changed. It's the alt one now. It's the second one. And of course, my name as well is set to the alt one. So this is it. Hope this will be helpful for you, and see you next time.